Okay, thank you very much, Frank, and Jim Brown and George Foreman, too. An interesting diversification of opinion there. In the meantime, they are still warming up. Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs, and this crowd has really begun to fill up this arena almost amazingly in terms of a tennis match. Just look at that crowd. Has to be, I think, more than 30,000 people here, and you'll remember, Gene Scott, it was in Australia in 1954. White City, that the previous record was established of 25,000, and at a price scale not, I don't think, comparable to tonight, where we have a $100 top.
That's it, Howard. For the minutia experts, the United States won over Australia in that contest, one of the few times during the 50s that the U.S. won. Here, it's entirely different. The crowd, obviously, most of it is fairly far away from the center court. White City, packed stands all around the competitors.
All right, Gene, how do you feel about this court they're playing on? Do you feel it favors Billie Jean? It's the court she requested.
Well, I think, Howard, it does a little bit. It's fast. It's faster than clay, so this favors her serve and volley type game. Bobby is more of a junk and bunk artist. He half volleys, dinks, lobs, and chops without a premium placed on speed, and basically this hurts him a little bit.
Look at the tail of the tape. The age differential speaks for itself. All of the rest speak for themselves, and yet, and I'm concentrating on Gene Scott for the moment, Rosemary Casals, just to give him his shots before you take your shots at him. It's a fact, isn't it, that if they were both males, if Billie Jean King were a male, she actually excels over Riggs in such matters as velocity and hitting the ball. Is that true?
There's no question. If you had one of these grip tests, or if you had a high jump test or a broad jump test, Billie Jean would win them all. This is more than that. This is not man versus woman in strength. This is psychological contest as well.
They have started the match just that way, that abruptly. Service, Billie Jean's, and fault. And he continues, Bobby Riggs does, to wear his warm-up jacket. Love 15. Well, that's the kind of confidence Muhammad Ali tried to show, and he kept standing in the corner between rounds in his last fight against Kenny Norton. Riggs wearing that warm-up sweater. 15-all. You'll hear the crowd responding all night to every point won by Billie Jean. Led 2 to come. This is best of 5 sets. And the crowd roars to that smash by Billie Jean.
It was out, Howard. Missed by an eyelash. Never seen Billie Jean take so long between serves, Rosie.
Well, I think anytime she plays any real important match, such as Wimbledon or Forest Hill, she really takes her time, and she is generally very, very tough when it comes to playing finals or that particular type of match. And this is an important match, and I think she'll really play it well.
We are at 30-all. This is the first game of the match again. Best of 5 sets.
Howard, Bobby's already starting. He shouted, "Atta girl," right after Billie hit the winner.
You think he'll be shouting that too much longer, Rosemary? 40-30, Billie Jean's lead.
When he starts losing, I don't think he's going to say "atta girl."
These first 2 or 3 games could be critical, don't you think, Rosie?
Well, I think that Billie Jean's really going to try hard to get the, first 3 or 4 games, definitely the first set. I think it'll be a psychological advantage for her to have the first set in her pocket.
It is deuce, and I wouldn't call that an error forced by Bobby, would you?
I think they're both very, very nervous and playing very tentative tennis. I think Billie Jean is being very tentative at the moment, and I think if she starts getting her first serve, such as she just did just now, she'll really give Bobby a bad time because her first volleys are very tough, very tough.
Advantage, Billie Jean King. And the crowd loves it. They get ready to exchange cards, and we'll be back with the Battle of the Sexes in a moment. Back live, courtside at the Astrodome, Houston, Texas. The Battle of the Sexes just underway. Billie Jean King has already surpassed Margaret Court. She held her service in the very first game and leads 1 game to love. And there are probably millions of people watching tonight, Gene and Rosie, who are not tennis aficionados, so it might be well for you, too, if you will, picking your spots to acquaint some of our viewers, the uninitiated, with the manner of tennis scoring.
One of the first things that was very evident, Howard, was that Billie Jean came to net 5 times in that first game, and she won 3 points by coming to net.
Bobby's service. Ball. Splendid placement by Billie Jean. Bobby serving, love 15.
Exactly what I meant. Billie Jean can really get to the ball, and if Bobby doesn't put the ball away, Billie Jean's going to hurt him because she can get to most of his shots. And no matter how...
Let's take another look at that last point. Look at that retrieve of the lob by Billie Jean, keeping the ball in play, and then Billie Jean with the foot speed and the anticipation to get over there and execute the placement. Beautiful shot. We're at 15 all in the second game of the first set. And a beautiful placement by Bobby Riggs.
That's pretty unusual. I'm very surprised in that shot from Bobby. Very surprised.
Rosie, your testimony against Bobby is disqualified on grounds of bias. That was called out, and it was a late call.
Close call. That
by the lineman.
Very, very close call there.
Bobby Riggs serving. Well,
he tried the serve on Margaret, and it paid off, but I don't think it's going to pay off with Billie Jean.
You saw the action on that service, but Billie Jean did get it. Handling shot by Billie Jean out. Score is 1-1 in games.
Bobby still hasn't taken up his warm-up jacket, as if that's part of the sight, and he started to establish his own pattern there.
I think he's getting paid too much money to take that off.
Rosie Casals, who tells it like it is. Gene Scott and Rosie Casals are with me tonight, and of course Frank Gifford. Later we'll be hearing from Leroy Neiman and seeing some fascinating sketches that he's been doing down here. A noted artist. Good, very good placement by Billie Jean. 15 love.
I'm going to say Billie Jean has one of the greatest volleys. It's just as good as any men's volley, for sure. Jean, wouldn't you agree? You've played mixed doubles against her.
I've personally been killed, but I still think that the male volley has got to dominate.
I disagree. I think she has just as good as a volley as any man.
Beautiful.
Want to see the old man run for that one.
Well, that's the very point, it seems to me, Gene. If Billie Jean can keep Bobby running, and so far she's been able to do it on her service, I think she could wear him down.
It's a long match, Howard. 3 out of 5 sets. And
she definitely has an advantage. I think she hits through the ball. She certainly hits a lot more than Margaret. I think that's what hurt Margaret. Margaret really couldn't hit through Bobby, and Billie Jean has the ability to hit right through him.
We're at game point here.
Even aces. She has the ability to ace him also.
As she just did, and it's 2-1 Billie Jean King already. And I think, as most expected, a marked difference between Billie Jean King's performance against Bobby Riggs as the jacket begins to be taken off by Bobby Riggs. No more of the warm-up jacket, a concession to the fact that Riggs perhaps knows he's running into firm competition. And the man there who just took the jacket off, of course, is Lonnie Kuehl, who is Bobby Riggs' trainer.
Yeah, I think he's going to start taking some of the vitamin pills. I think he's going to start needing them.
All right, let's go down quickly to courtside and Frank Gifford.
Well, Howard, I'm with the parents of Billie Jean King, Mr. and Mrs. Moffat, as I was corrected just a moment ago, and there must have been a lot of pressure on the two of you over the past few weeks.
Well, there is a lot, Frank, but eventually we know that Billie Jean can take Bobby to camp, and that's why we're here to watch her win this big one.
Yeah, she's looking really good. You must be delighted the way she's going so far.
Yes, we're real pleased with the way she and I think she'll do it. I have confidence.
I bet you do. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Frank.
Howard?
Well, we're up here real pleased with the way Billie Jean's mother looks, a very dignified and lovely-looking lady. And at courtside, the two players, as you can see, Billie Jean there resting, getting ready for the 4th game in this set. And they have 2 minutes agreed upon between games. That's why the timeout period may seem a little long to you. There have been other ground rules set for this match that we will bring to your attention during the course of play, and as such matters become pertinent. In the meantime, there goes Bobby with the jacket off, and maybe the braggadocio a little bit reduced.
I think Billie Jean now will be looking for the break. I think she is a little bit more comfortable on the court now. She's hit a couple of balls that have been out there, and actually it's been a fairly good match at the moment. Nothing spectacular has happened.
Except for that kind of mistake.
Well, I think she's still very tentative, but she's going to have to start hitting out a little bit more because that's her game. She has to hit out.
15-love Bobby. Billie Jean leading. 2-1.
Great shot by Billie Jean, half volley. She also is master of the half volley and the little drop shots and things. Jean, even though she hasn't been around as long as Bobby, she still is doing pretty good. Capable of playing him from the backcourt. She has the ability to be able to change her game accordingly. Great job. Great job.
An exciting rally, though, wasn't it, Gene? The kind of tennis that the fans came out to see.
I don't think Bobby
look
can
at
take
this
that.
in replay. Now watch this. This is the evidence of the superiority, perhaps, of youth. Billie Jean's ability to get all across that court. But on the other hand, Bobby's guile had her moving all across that court.
Two good athletes, Howard. I think what's happened is Bobby hasn't done anything spectacular. He's still hanging in, and he's about to hold service to make it 2-all.
I don't think Bobby's a good athlete. I wouldn't consider somebody that walks like a duck a good athlete. It's awfully tough to move when you are built that way, Jean. Awfully tough.
Where's the velocity that Billie Jean can put on the ball, and walking back, she's walking more like a male than a female. Andy Williams loving every moment of it. Andy, of course, was in the celebrity doubles final held here earlier. We're at 30-all, and Bobby Riggs is serving. Billie Jean leading in games, 2-1. And it's 30-40. Jean, I'm really very surprised myself at the way Billie Jean is playing, and for that matter, the way Bobby is playing.
Service break point. It's the first pressure point that Billie Jean's had in the match.
Oh, that was out.
Pressure point, right on the line. In the line counts it. In the Astrodome, Rosie.
That was a close, tough call. But we are at deuce.
Well, that's the only way he can win this match. That ball. That was a ball.
Billie Jean is looking for the call, and it was called good in spite of Rosie's view of the shot.
I think we ought to have that man removed. Definitely removed.
Well, that was called a fault, Rosie. Rosemary Casals is with me, and Gene Scott. So Bobby facing the pressure. Held service, and games are 2-all.
I think Bobby was very lucky on those two calls, because there could have been a break right there. Very lucky on the call.
Just look at that crowd, Gene. Did you ever think you'd see that number of people at a tennis match in the Astrodome?
Nowhere. There's been a lot of comment, Howard, about what is the maximum amount of people that can properly watch a tennis match. Punch Imlach gave us some simile in hockey, for example, saying that only 18,000 could watch properly in hockey, and I think probably the game is basically the same. It's an awful big crowd to get the feeling of intimacy.
Not intimate. Now, Billie Jean King, 15-love.
That's what happens to Bobby Riggs' lobs. Smashed.
5th game of the first set. 2 games apiece. All.
There's a bit of discrimination on the court. We've got 7 men linesmen and 7 lineswomen. I don't think it's very fair, especially the guy that called this ball out.
30-15, Billie Jean. I don't think you meant 7 lineswomen. 7 men linesmen.
7 men.
And 4 lineswomen. Isn't that what you meant?
That's exactly what I meant. Thank you, Howard.
She's been a little careless in this game.
No, I think she's too tentative at the moment. That's really the problem, because she's not really being aggressive and not hitting out. She's being caught in between the service line and going up to net.
30-all.
That's clay.
Beautiful placement by Billie Jean, moving up to the net. I wonder if you'd explain to our viewers what you mean by the use of the word tentative.
Tentative meaning that she has not made up her mind exactly what she's going to do, whether she's going to go up to the net or stay back or hit a forehand down the line or cross court. You've got to make up your mind before you go up and hit the shot. Generally, when you do miss the shots, because you have made up your mind.
Fifth game of the first set. 40-30. Billie Jean King serving. Score tied at 2 games apiece.
There goes the lob again. Backhand down the line by Billie Jean. One of her best shots, really. And Mr. Riggs comes up to net. Lob.
And a very nice put-away shot.
Not bad for an old man. Still won't win, though.
We are at 40-40.
You got to be softer on the old man.
Can't.
Billie Jean is approaching her first pressure position, perhaps, Jean.
We'll see how she responds at this juncture. You saw last game that Bobby had the pressure on him. He responded very well.
And Billie Jean did not respond well on that shot. The advantage is Bobby Riggs.
Now a break point.
Yes, indeed.
She'll have to get her first serve in, really. Makes the difference right there again. She got caught where she couldn't make up her mind exactly what she wanted to do.
But she won at break point. We are back to deuce.
She's got to work on her first serve, getting it in deep into Bobby, and I think she'll be in a good position up at net.
Rosie, she still looks tense to me.
She is tense, no doubt about that. This is a very important match.
And what a break for Bobby Riggs. As the advantage is his again. He is at break point. We are in the 5th game of the first set with the games tied at 2 apiece. It's really been an interesting match with some spectacular rallies.
Now everybody's sitting on pins and needles up here.
And Bobby Riggs breaks through. The first, perhaps, turning point in the first set of this match. Bobby Riggs leading Billie Jean 3-2. We'll be back in a moment. There's Bobby Riggs at courtside, wiping his glasses. He's just taken some refreshment, getting ready to move into the 6th game of the first set, leading at 3-2. He held together, beat Billie Jean King on her service for the first breakthrough, and in slow motion, he did get a break. This was the shot that perhaps did it. Watch the flow of action here. See that? Ball hit the net and just dropped in. That was the break Bobby needed. So he held together when he was in danger of being broken through. He held on. Billie Jean could not. With that net ball a factor in Bobby Riggs' success thus far. Riggs serving.
Billie Jean's going to have to start hitting more. She's just being too tentative and starting. I think she's playing his game a little bit too much. And at the moment, it's not a very good idea because she doesn't have her momentum.
He's forcing her into errors now. 15 love. Bobby leading.
Pretty good example there, Howard, that Bobby kills you with unspectacular stuff. He doesn't look like he's doing anything to you. And yet he's just killing Billie Jean with steadiness.
Well, I wouldn't say it's spectacular, Gene. I'd say it's adequate. That's fairly spectacular, Gene.
But Bobby still has the break, Rosie.
Well, it's not the end of the match yet. One break doesn't make any difference in women's tennis. You know that.
15 all. Well,
I just wonder whether Bobby would look better in a tennis dress or better than the shorts, maybe.
and a nice passing shot by Billie Jean King. 15-30. Bobby serving. Billie needing an answering breakthrough. Bobby leading 3-2 in this, the first set of the best-of-5 match. Bobby having broken through Billie Jean on her last service.
He went for his big cannonball serve just then.
Rosie, you sound as if that's a meatball.
I think he's starting to show some signs of being a little bit nervous also. He just threw in a double fault, and how can you ever double fault with that kind of a serve?
Maybe again.
Oh, Rosie.
There's the break.
As the answering break, she did what she had to do, and she did it her way, Jean. Games are tied at 3-3 with service moving over to Billie Jean.
It's too bad. She would have been up 5-3 by now.
I'll say this for Bobby. He told a good shot in a very sportsmanlike way.
Oh, I think he's a gentleman, really.
That's a new tack you're taking.
Be a little sarcastic.
And another beautiful placement by Billie Jean. 15 love.
Solid touch.
I think if she keeps that up, Bobby's really going to be too tired to finish off the next two sets. It's a lot of running that he's doing back and forth. As I said, I think he moves well from side to side, from, backhand to forehand, but back and forth, up and down, he doesn't move that well. He's very limited with the way he runs.
But sarcasm aside, Rosie, you surely don't think Bobby's not going to finish the match?
Well, I think he will, finish the match, but I don't think he'll be in a position to go out and party and enjoy himself and things like that.
She'll give no ground. Beautiful shot by Billie Jean King. 30-15. Games again tied at 3-all. Billie Jean serving, of course.
The same sequence. She keeps serving to his backhand and hits a short or a fairly short backhand into his backhand, comes up and plays the same sequence, short backhand cross court. That's a very good return.
Oh, beautiful return by Bobby Riggs. 40-30. Billie Jean still at game point.
Bobby doesn't look too happy there. He looks a little bit upset.
Well, that was an unforced error. And Billie Jean King is leading Bobby Riggs in a very, very good and interesting match. Back in a moment. That's the scene in the Houston Astrodome for tennis. A 55-year-old man against a 29-year-old woman. Incredible, isn't it? Without question now, the largest tennis crowd in history. We're waiting with some anticipation for the actual figures. Bobby Riggs serving, trailing 3 games against 4.
I believe we have new balls here.
Yes, it's 7-9 games. First two games are thought of as counting for the warm-up.
You recognize that gentleman? Oh, we just saw him.
Referee Jason Morton. The umpire, the head umpire.
That's right. Look at that! She's got him running and out of position.
When Bobby starts hitching up his shorts, I think he's starting to get worried there.
Unusual tactic. I think he's doing it as an offsetter, serving and volleying. That's not usually his style. He drew the error quickly from Billie Jean.
Bobby at net. That soft drop shot. Bobby leads 30-15. He is trailing in games. 3 against 4. This is the first set of a best-of-5 match. And it's incredible the anticipation that's existed in this Astrodome tonight.
Second service.
I think Bobby looks a little bit nervous. He doesn't look right to me.
Nervous? Who's nervous there?
Well, you've got to miss some shots, Gene. You just couldn't, make everything. It wouldn't be a match then.
It's just about to be 4-all. And it is.
Nicely placed by Bobby Riggs. It is 4-all. Service moves over to Billie Jean King. And funny, this match, I suppose we all expected to have some high humor involved in it. Instead, it seems to have become a very, very serious thing because the comedy has gone out of Bobby Riggs.
Shot.
15-love.
Billie Jean's been consistently making her backhand volleys, and she's made most of her points off that backhand side, and Bobby keeps playing that side.
On 9 o'clock. I want to remind you that we're coming to you live from the Houston Astrodome. Billie Jean King against Bobby Riggs. They are tied in the first set at 4 games apiece. Billie Jean serving and leading in the 9th game. Score 30-love and perhaps about to become 40-love. Yes, with a brilliant placement. Let's take another look at that last point, Gene.
Okay, Howard, here you have Bobby being stretched all the way out of the court. He goes down and sits down on the sideline. Billie Jean gently half volleys the ball back into his court for the winner.
Well, it was really a tough shot for Billie Jean even again. It was
out, and it's a love game for Billie Jean. She leads 5 games to 4. So far, she has played really fine tennis, and we will be back in one moment.
Houston Astrodome, a beautiful scene tonight, a beautiful scene for Billie Jean King fans. She leads in the first set 5-4. And speaking of beautiful things, this is not Reinitsky, even though she's wearing the number 66. Claudine Langer. Claudine, you have to be enjoying it.
Oh, I can't take it. It's just too much. Really.
You're quite a tennis fan yourself, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And I'm so happy because she's playing so well and so hard, and she's the aggressor, and it's fantastic.
But any feeling on your part against Bobby Riggs?
Oh, no, it's just that he's been bragging so much, like, I really like him. He's a nice man. He looks like a rabbit and all that. And I really like him, but he's been bragging, and it's just too much of it. And it's fun to see a lady with a lot of dignity playing very well,
Okay, let's go quickly up to Howard. Thank you, Claudine.
And a beautiful passing shot. Thank you, Frank and Claudine. Billie Jean ahead in this, the 10th game of the first set. Love 15. Bobby serving. And Bob Stack is with us, and he's enjoying a light repast at the moment. He's not uptight. Oh, marvelous lob by Billie Jean. And a good answering lob by Bobby. And Billie Jean tried to smash it, put it away, but hit it out. It's tied at 15-all. Again, a reminder to those of you just tuning in, this has been some match before an all-time record tennis crowd. And it's been good and exciting tennis in an arena filled with excitement and anticipation. As Bobby, now fighting to make sure he's not broken through and dropping the first set, comes up with that placement that scored the point for him. He leads 30-15. They tell us there's a big movie on against us, but you can see a movie anytime. To see this kind of unique event, it seems to me, and I know most of the women in the country have been absorbed by it. Look at that smash by Billie Jean. And it's now back to 30-30. Let's pause for 5 seconds while our stations down the line identify themselves. Okay. Okay, we're back live. Fault. Bobby's first serve. 30-all.
2 points from the set. 1 point from the set.
30-40. This is at break point now, and it would be set point if Billie Jean could capture it.
All the women are certainly looking forward to this next point.
Bobby looking to get his first serve in. Billie Jean's backhand, probably follow his serve to net.
First serve fall to the forehand side, G. Not following your instructions at all.
Oh, and Bobby is grimacing.
He's not very happy. I don't know how his Lady Clairol's...
Double fault!
There he is.
For the first set, Billie Jean King. Point and set. 6-4. And the women in this arena are standing and cheering for Billie Jean King. Look at
Bobby doesn't look very happy. He's sort of walking with his head bent down, and I think he's going to get some little strategy from his coach over there. Billie Jean's also walking toward Dennis Van der Meer, who's her coach for this particular match.
They have a 4-minute break, Howard. After every set, which is a little unusual. Normally,
but it's part of what was agreed upon in their ground rules meeting yesterday, which, by the way, we'll touch upon later. In the meantime, Billie Jean King, 6-4, wins first set. Back in a moment.
Side, Bobby Riggs just lost his first set, 6-4. Bobby, maybe tougher than you thought?
Frank, she's playing very well. She's playing aggressive. This is a net player's court, and she's very good at the net. She's making a lot of wonderful volleys, and I'm missing a lot of first serves, and when I try to come in, she's getting the ball at my feet, and I'm having a lot of trouble on her return of serve. So she's playing better than I am right now, and she didn't have any breaks in that set and still won it. So I'm in for a long afternoon.
You say that, Bobby, like you maybe think maybe you can't handle her. Can you come back?
Listen, a first set of a match is a long ways away, Frank. All I can tell you is she played darn good tennis that set. So I'm going to have to pick the pace up a little bit or change my tactics or try to get a little faster or... I missed so many shots myself.
I'll tell you something. You showed me something. You were really moving around out there for 55 years old. That's incredible. Hang in there, partner.
Pretty quick. She's awful quick and swift, and I think I have balls faster. She goes and gets them. She's terrific, and we'll see what happens this set, Frank. I like to have it be a set all after this set's over.
Okay. Back to you, Howard.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you, Bobby Riggs, for being so kind as to talk with us. Look at those statistics. Total points played, 61. Points played at net, 34. Points won at net, 23 by Billie Jean King. And Bobby used the same word, oddly, in the interview with Frank that Claudine Longshade had earlier in the interview with Frank. Aggressive. No question about it, Gene Scott. Billie Jean has been the aggressor in this match.
Well, I think both people have tried to storm the net. There's no question that the net is where the action's going to be. The surface is fast enough, so anybody who stays
wait a minute,
back...
Look at that scene. Billie Jean was on the wrong side of court. You saw the smile on her face and the little half jump, half dance, half strut. She's filled with confidence now.
That happens a lot. A lot of times she never knows what the score is, especially when we're playing doubles. She never knows what the score is, and I have to tell her. She's concentrating so hard and on every point. That's why.
Start of the second set. Fault. Billie Jean having won the first set 6-4.
Fantastic half volley. A half volley's got to be one of the toughest shots in tennis. You have to have a lot of timing, a lot of touch, and really have a good eye.
A little bit of luck thrown in, Rosie.
Well, that's in everything in life. Billie Jean seems to be staying back on her serve, and also,
look where he's got her now.
Also,
I mean, where she had him. She is really running him all over the court, Gene.
I think she's fairly confident now. She's trying a lot of shots that wouldn't be percentage shots that she wouldn't have tried in the first set, so she's feeling fairly confident.
30-15, Billie Jean. And one hasn't seen in evidence the famed Bobby Riggs lob that much tonight, Gene.
Well, he's been rushed an awful lot, Howard, and you can't lob when he's serving and volleying. He's not going to lob on his serve, obviously. Billie Jean's volleys thus far have been pretty accurate, pretty powerful. He hasn't been able to put anything on with much authority.
And a good smash by Bobby Riggs. We're at 30-30. First game, second set. Billie Jean, of course, won the first set 6-4 to the absolute delight of all of the women here in the arena. They actually stood and gave her an ovation, and I suspect many in the living rooms around the country did the same thing. Bobby is now fighting for his life. Fine placement, Rosie. Give him that.
Yes, it was
30-40.
Break point.
That's one good point he's hit today. Billie Jean's going to have to start getting her first serve in and start tightening up,
which she failed to do.
She throws in a second serve. It's going to hang right up there, and Bobby's going to be able to hit it off the forehand side. He likes to hit his forehand.
And Bobby immediately responds after losing the first set with a breakthrough of service. Riggs 1-0. They're changing courts. We'll be back in just one moment.
Ron, Billie Jean Campbell, and are you both for Billie Jean King?
Well, I'm for this Billie Jean. Today's our 14th anniversary, and I brought her down to the match thanks to Florencio here, for her anniversary.
Great to see you both.
Thank you, Frank.
Not ready, going to well. Back to you, Howard.
All right, the second game of the second set has just begun. Bobby Riggs serving, having broken through Billie Jean King. So it's 1-0 in favor of Bobby Riggs. And Billie Jean is seeking a strike back. A very important breakthrough for Bobby, I felt, Gene Scott, because having lost the first set, his confidence had to be somewhat diluted. Coming back with a breakthrough game could have been a very important thing for him.
Well, Bobby's really at a disadvantage tactically. He has to serve and volley, as we're seeing him do now, which is definitely not his strong point.
Well, at least Billie Jean's making him play her style of game. He's had to change his style of game, and everybody's been worrying about how Billie Jean's going to play Bobby, and it's really the other way around, because Billie Jean is capable of playing both games, either staying in the backcourt or being aggressive.
We're at 15 all now. The young lady you just heard speaking is, of course, Rosemary Casals, who is a tennis professional who has won over $70,000 already this year, and a very close friend and adversary at the same time of Billie Jean King. Bobby loses that point. It's 15-30. The gentleman with me is Eugene Scott, renowned international tennis player of the past, once the number 4 seeded male player in the United States, and a man who played Billie Jean King. Spotted her 10 points in a 21-point set and beat her, and Billie Jean is now at break point.
That's what happens to Bobby's lobs. He's not lobbing deep enough, and Billie Jean has an exceptionally good overhit.
30-40. Critical moment for Bobby, because having broken through Billie Jean, he wants to assume dominance in this set.
Cross-court backhand by Billie Jean. It's really one of the longest rallies they've had.
A brilliant rally and a brilliant placement by Billie Jean King as she answers Bobby Riggs with her own breakthrough of service in the second set. Billie Jean having won the first set 6-4. They are tied at 1 game apiece, and we are getting some kind of tennis, Gene.
As we say in the trade, that Bobby lacks the concluder. He's not able to put the ball away. He gets on top a little bit in a rally or in a game. He breaks through and doesn't have the strength of service or a volley to hang in front.
And he's going to have to start putting the balls away because Billie Jean's not going to do what Margaret did in the past. But Billie Jean's going to make it, so Bobby's really going to have to put the big one in. Making him work. Same sequence, the short backhand volley brings Bobby in, and Bobby's off court, cannot get back. Like a duck out of water.
Oh, is Rosie Casals pouring it on tonight, thus far. And Billie Jean, as you see, is playing brilliant. There are more I Love Billie Jean King buttons around here. Even a lot of men wearing them, Gene.
I haven't seen a one, Howard.
Oh, come on. Look
Got
right
one
over
in
there.
your pocket, Gene.
And that's where it'll stay.
There's your button. I Love Billie Jean King. But it's a lady, Jean.
Everything goes nowadays.
Billie Jean again with that backhand placement. Well, not everybody is for Billie Jean. Some are for the self-proclaimed male chauvinist who is battling for his very life. What he has to lose if he loses this match.
He'll have to go back to cooking and doing the housework.
Billie Jean again with a beautiful placement, catching Bobby out of position. So it's 2-1. Billie Jean King leads in the second set, and we'll be back in 1 moment. Again, the scene at the Houston Astrodome, and it's really one of the most extraordinary scenes I've witnessed in my lifetime on the sports beat. That is not an extreme statement. To see this kind of crowd for a tennis match, unique. A 55-year-old man who walks like a duck, who's made all kinds of noise over the recent weeks and months, who disposed with such dispatch of Margaret Court, going against a 29-year-old woman, the #1 women's player certainly in this country, who herself has won 5 times at Wimbledon, has won the French Championship, has won the U.S. Open Championship, not once but a number of times, and the Australian. And it's 100,000 winner-take-all as Bobby Riggs serves, trailing 2-1. But it's more than that, really. With other guarantees, it's 200,000 for the winner, 100,000 for the loser. Heaven knows how much more in endorsements to follow, and some endorsements already committed. So there's a lot of money at stake as Bobby Riggs wins that point. 15-love, he leads in this, the 4th game of the second set, trailing 2-1 and having lost the first set. This match, of course, is going by satellite all around the world. Enormous interest in it. And it is now 15-all.
15-all.
Seems to me that Bobby's trying to rush the match a little. He's really, not giving Billie Jean enough time to get settled. He walks slowly, but he's still moving fairly fast for him.
30-15. Oh. Bobby shakes his head. You rarely will see that from Bobby Riggs, Gene.
Well, he tried too big a point. He was at the service line and tried a crunch volley for an outright winner. That's not his style. That is his style.
40-30. He did it had to do it. 2 games apiece.
No, it was a double fault.
They call that out.
He went for the big one, and it didn't pay off.
Rick's 3rd double fault of the match.
There's the lob by Billie Jean. Beautiful down the line. Fabulous shot. Fabulous shot. Now, I can see from sitting up here, Bobby doesn't look very happy at all with this situation tonight. Close call, the ball was called out.
We've had a lot of those close calls tonight.
I think everybody's very, very nervous, even the lineswoman.
We're at deuce. Billie Jean King leading 2 games to 1. Second set. Billie Jean won the first set 6 games to 4.
Okay, Billie Jean just motioned to Bobby to slow down a bit because he is rushing her.
Game point for Bobby.
Tried going again for the serve to the forehand side, and actually Billie Jean hits a very good forehand, and it's going to hurt him unless he makes it a good hard serve.
There at deuce.
Lob. Can't seem to hit that shot.
Right on the line.
They both look for the call. It's called good.
Bobby suddenly has become an underdog, Howard.
Yes, some of them are cheering for him. Advantage Riggs. Fault.
Goes the lob. Overhead winner by Billie Jean.
Billie Jean is killing him with that overhand smash. I'll tell you that, Jean.
I'd say the lobs are killing Bobby. I think he's at a disadvantage every time he throws up a lob. It's not an aggressive or an offensive lob. It's a defensive lob.
And he's not getting his first service in with any degree of regularity. He's fighting for his tennis life now.
This is a very important point. I think Billie Jean needs it. Fabulous shot.
Advantage Billie Jean.
Her returns are really low to Bobby's feet, and, you know, they happen to get in the way, and he's really having a lot of problems making the first volley. That time, Billie Jean returned fairly high, so he was able to hit down on the ball and make the volley.
Again, he fails to get his first service in. It's been a continuing pattern in this particular game.
Right on.
Again, that brilliant passing shot by Billie Jean King. The advantage is hers. Bobby Riggs serving.
Lob by Billie Jean. Riggs smashes, forehand drive. Outside,
and we're back to deuce.
Howard, one of the reasons that Bobby keeps on missing on his first serve is he's not used to having to try to do this much with the ball. So in trying to put a little extra zip, he's missed some.
It is interesting, Gene, the way some of the crowd now is turning partial to Bobby Riggs.
Well, they want to make him feel that there is a hope. Great shot.
I'll tell you, she's tough.
She's very tough.
Let's take another look at this rally.
What they call a stick-em-up forehand.
Not the rally, but the...
Topspin forehand by Billie Jean, so she's capable of hitting any amount of topspins or slice backhands that Riggs throws. There's the lob. Billie Jean's making Bobby really work for this game and might tell. Slice backhand. Cannot hurt her. He cannot hit through the ball. He cannot hit over the ball, and I think that really is a handicap for him because he just slices.
Explain what you mean by hitting over the ball.
That's hitting over the ball, just as I said, going over the ball and not hitting under the ball. It's called topspin, and generally anybody will pass a lot easier if you can hit through the ball with a certain amount of speed.
This has been the longest game of the night, and it may indeed take its toll on Bobby. Only time will tell. As Larry King, the husband manager of Billie Jean. Advantage, Bobby.
There's a topspin lob.
Out, and Bobby wins the game. He has to win. And now he's playing up to the crowd just a little bit. Touch of a smile and a little tug at the chest of the shirt. We're tied now at 2 games apiece, and that was a long, long game, Mr. Scott.
Howard, actually, it's interesting that the crowd responds very much like it does a baseball or a football game. In the middle of the rallies, actually, you have jeers, cheers, shouts, and whistles. Very unusual and a very healthy thing, I think, for tennis.
Generally, the players are not used to playing under these circumstances. In the past, it's always been that public should refrain from clapping or really showing their emotions, and so this is really new to tennis.
And I agree with Jean. I think it's a healthy thing.
I think
Billie Jean lost first point on her service. It's love 15. And default.
Again, she's not getting her first serve in. It's really important for her approach volley, put away volley.
Seemed to me that was Bobby's big problem in the last game.
That's right. I think they both basically have the same type of serves. They're really not hard serve. They don't have a cannonball first serve, but they place it very, very well. And that looked like one of Bobby's overhits, a lot of side spin.
That's right. I think she took a chapter directly from Bobby's book.
No, she wrote a book. It could be the other way around.
I think Bobby wrote an earlier one.
We are at 15 all with my 2 colleagues in the broadcast booth having at one another.
Fortunately separated by Howard.
30-15.
That's not your normal role, is it, Howard, that of a mediator?
I have to be on this occasion. Rosie called me a male chauvinist before the telecast began.
No, I asked you if you were, and you said no. I have to. I'm sitting right next to her.
Well, Billie Jean is failing to get her first service in this game.
Actually, it's been a very, very tentative match. This whole, from the beginning, it's really been very tentative. They're not really playing as loosely as they generally would.
Billie Jean, by the way, had a break there on his second service with that let, Rosie.
Yes, could have gone the other way. Oh, my.
Beautiful.
Fabulous. That's
loved that. She really loved it. Let's take another look at that.
That's a lot of touch. Looks like Bobby's gone the wrong way that time. First serve.
Billie Jean King leads in games in the second set 3-2. She has won the first set and will be back in one moment.
we're in the second set. Billie Jean leading 3-2 over Bobby Riggs, and I'm up to my naval of movie stars. Andy Williams is here. Andy, you played today. I know you play a lot of tennis. It's fascinating. The whole scene is fascinating, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's really it's a great evening down here. Well, especially for the celebrities who get a chance to play, all during the day, and then to come and see this match, which is fantastic. It's the best thing that's happened to tennis, I think, in a long, long time.
Do you have any particular favorites, Andy? I've been really interested by the people, the reactions. Seem to be swinging a little over to Bobby.
Well, I think the underdog always comes to the fore, and Bobby's having a little problem right now.
It'd be 55.
Yeah, maybe that. No, it isn't called a girl. It could be called 55, but it could also be called Bobby Riggs' strategy too. I think he's done. He's a great entertainer, I think. In the morning when you pick up the paper and you find a picture of Bobby Riggs in the paper, and you say to your friend, "Hey, look at that! Isn't that great?" That's entertainment. That's as good as making records or singing on television.
You're a great entertainer too, Andy. Let's go back quickly now to Howard.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Andy Williams. And there's no entertainment in the present moment, Andy, for Bobby Riggs. He is serving. He is trailing 3-2, and he is fighting not just in a sense for his tennis life, because at 55 he's found the new tennis life, playing women, but for everything else that would accrue to him should he win this match. And Billie Jean King does it to him again with that overhead put-away volley.
She's really being aggressive. She really moved in on that shot and didn't give him a chance.
There's our friend and colleague, David Marr. We're back on the court now with the action. We'll talk about David later. That's out.
15-all.
Here at 15-all. David Marr, who works our professional golf tour, who's a past PGA champion. Smallish fellow with a great sense of humor and a lot of style and class. It's nice to have him here with us tonight. Let on the first service. There he is.
Hard first serve by Bobby. Oops. Mishit by
30-15.
Howard, it's interesting to note that Bobby has yet to hit a ball long. In other words, long of the baseline, which means that he has kept to his style, which is an unbelievable control-type game.
Bobby is still not getting the first service in with that much consistency.
Great backhand down the line.
She's quick in her judgments and quick in her execution. Gene, you've got to give her credit.
No question. When Bobby wins a point, he has to win it pretty much on Billie Jean's error. When Billie Jean wins it, she wins it clean.
That's the way he won the match against Margaret Court, basically on errors. I counted 6 passing shots, outright passing shots.
Meanwhile, Bobby faltered again in the first serve. We're getting late calls, it seems to me, from the linemen tonight. And Billie Jean, moving almost up to the net, puts it away again.
Billie Jean's making Bobby play her game, trying to bring him in, and he's coming up to net and not volleying as well as Billie Jean volleys, and she's coming in right after it.
Break point for Billie Jean here.
There's the lob again, not a bad lob.
And a very weak shot suddenly by Billie Jean.
Score is deuce.
We're at deuce.
That's a very important point.
It was. Billie Jean is leading 3-2 in the second set. She has won the first set 6-4, and it's a far cry. She was lucky on that, and a beautiful. Great try by Billie Jean, but out advantage Bobby Riggs.
Advantage, Mr. Riggs.
Let's look at this again.
Drop shot by Bobby Riggs.
A beautiful drop shot. Cannily placed.
Nice try.
Superb try by Billie Jean. Able to get there with that foot speed.
Beautiful down the line. Beautiful down the line.
I don't understand. Bobby's been feeding that backhand of hers all evening, and Jean, and she is great at that backhand passing shot down the base.
It's a critical mistake by Bobby. I think not just a mistake, though. In other words, his best shot is backhand to her backhand. His best serve is to Billie Jean's backhand, which obviously is Billie Jean's best shot. She's got to stick her with a forehand, which he did there.
Yes, but she's made two woeful errors earlier with that backhand, that overhead backhand, and that one.
She should have made that shot. It was a relatively simple shot, but anything can happen.
Bobby is still having terrible troubles with his first serve. And another. 3-all of the game. Billie Jean King suddenly made 3 glaring errors in that game.
She rushed, Howard. There's no question about it. She tried to get the points over with quickly. Bobby obviously thrives on this type of style where the opponent is not patient. Billie Jean was not patient. She paid the price.
Let's face it, for a 55-year-old guy, he's hanging in there.
What happened to Bobby Riggs? Where is he?
He's hanging in there, Rosie.
Where? Oh, there he is, back there. Looking all over for him. Thought he took a break.
You won't let him off the floor, will you?
Billie Jean showing the sign for new balls.
There's the lob right inside the baseline.
Meanwhile, there's a ball on the court that was not retrieved by a ball boy and could cause a little loss of concentration.
I think Billie Jean dropped the ball herself. Ball going up to net.
Listen to that crowd now cheering for Riggs. We've commented upon it once or twice before now that Bobby is suddenly the underdog. And just look at that crowd.
I really think they really want to stay to the end of this 5-set match. Touch volley by Billie Jean. The lob is out.
15-all.
Looks like Billie Jean is playing a Bobby Riggs game.
That's the first ball that Bobby has hit long of the baseline.
Good first serve.
Yes, it was.
Right
30-15, Billie Jean. 30-15. Let 2 serves to come. There's the score. Billie Jean winning the first set 6-4. They're tied at 3 apiece, and this the second set. Billie Jean serving. Ball.
Looks like she's really trying to get up to the net real fast. She had a very low toss there.
The idea was good. The execution was not. They are tied at 30-all.
You can still see, Howard, that Bobby is not passing her outright. He's just trying to draw the error.
That's the second time he's gone deep, Jean, and both times he has failed to keep it within court.
He was forced a little bit. Billie Jean hit a little bit of a forcing volley.
It says was very forceful. He missed the shot on that. He didn't have any time to think and put the ball away. There's the lob again, and it was wide.
Outside the game is Billie Jean. She leads 4 games to 3 in the second set. She has won the first set. And so the excitement continues here in the Houston Astrodome, and we'll be back in just a moment. So that's the way it is here in the Houston Astrodome on this night of September 20th, 1973. The signs are out in full force. It's like Monday Night Football. The crowd has been roaring. Look at those signs. They're all over the place. It's not the usual tennis atmosphere, nor is this the usual tennis event. It's a happening, and it's a happening so far for Billie Jean King. Bobby Riggs scores the first point in the 8th game of the second set. 15-15 love. Billie Jean is leading in games 4-3 and in sets 1-0. She won the first set 6 games to 4. And again, that backhand passing shot that has plagued Bobby Riggs the whole night.
That's a slice backhand, getting under the ball, forcing the ball down deep. Gave Bobby a lot of trouble, didn't even touch it. There's the loft, fabulous get. There's the angle. Top spin forehand, cross court by Billie Jean.
A marvelous point won by Billie Jean because as you saw Bobby Riggs, let's take another look at it. Bobby has her running all over the court. Bobby is cannily placing his shots, and she passes him with that forehand shot. And now scores with that lob.
Beautiful topspin
so she is at
lob.
break point.
Double break point, 15-40.
I think Bobby's starting to rush her a little bit. I think she may hold up her hand.
Earlier, Gene Scott commented that there's nothing spectacular in Bobby's game, and that's what's costing her.
There it is. She's repeatedly been serving to her backhand side, and that's her toughest return is her backhand from either side to cross court or down the line. He should keep it away from her backhand.
All that Billie Jean has to do right now is hold on to her serve, and she'll lead 2 sets to love.
And be in a compelling position.
I know she's pretty nervous right now, but I think she's going to play it fairly smart. Fairly smart. There's the lob. There's the overhead.
And the overhead again. 15 love, Billie Jean.
3 points away.
15 love.
Looks like I'm going to make some money on this match.
We'll pass that comment.
There goes the lob, and it looks out.
30 love. It'll be interesting if Bobby Riggs loses this match to see what his behavior pattern will be, Gene.
I don't think we'll ever put the lid on Bobby. He'll find a way to bounce back.
40 love. Well, he's trying to clinch the second set.
Triple set point.
With a love game.
Here we go. There you go.
Love game. Billie Jean King has won the second set 6 games to 3. She leads 2 sets to love, having won the first set 6 games to 4. And it's so far a very great night for the ladies. Let's go down to the Giffer at courtside.
Thank you, Howard. What a surprising turn of events we have here in the Astrodome. We also have a young couple who are starring in their own Battle of the Sexes, so to speak, every Friday night on ABC, called Adam's Rib. Ken Howard and Blythe Danner. And are you enjoying the match, first of all?
Frank. Oh, absolutely. It's incredible. I knew this would happen, though. I knew it all along.
How about you, Ken? I've been enjoying it as much as you can. That's sort of the same kind of a thing going, woman-man relationship in your producer.
We don't go at it quite as with the ferocity as Billie Jean and what's his name over there.
Bobby Riggs, give him a break, please.
But that's because Ken isn't a show, but it's like that man.
No, I'm not a tennis player like he is either, though.
Well, I'm not either, but
No, you can't. Let's not fight about us. Who are you for, as if I didn't know?
I'll give you 2 choices.
Oh, well, I would say the odds are it's probably Billie Jean King.
Well, why do you say that? Because she's a woman, huh?
No, because you're a woman, that's why.
I think we started
one. Thank you, Ken Howard, Blythe Danner, Adam's Rib, every Friday night on ABC. And Howard, I'll tell you, it's kind of wild down here. Right now, Billie Jean King has taken 2 straight sets, and we'll be back right after this message. Well, it's kind of unusual. Billie Jean King is leading Bobby Riggs, 2 sets to none, 6-4, 6-3, and I know it's difficult to talk between sets, and we really appreciate your doing it, Billie, but has it been a little easier than you thought?
I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, I've never played him. The main thing I'm trying to do is get my first serve in and just play my game, like I said earlier today to you, and never think I've won until it's over.
I feel pretty good, though, right now, don't you?
Well, he knows he's got to go 5 sets to win it, and that's a good feeling.
You're doing particularly well with the backhand, Billie. Is this, you're making him put it to where you can use your backhand?
He seems to keep hitting it. That's my best shot, so it helps me a lot for him to hit it to my backhand.
Good luck. You're a hell of a gal.
Thanks, Frank.
Howard?
Thank you, Giffer, and thank you, Billie Jean King. Oh, there's Joanne Flug, one of the many celebrities here tonight and one of the many lovely-looking women here tonight as tennis gains a whole new horizon, I suspect, in view of this crowd, in view of the nature of its behavior. That's the kind of event we're at, yes. But really, it's been, as Gene Scott said earlier, a lot like a football or a baseball crowd, with all of the yelling during the course of the match instead of the usual studious silence. And look at Bobby Riggs. He's changed his shirt. He's in a yellow shirt now. Billie Jean utterly composed. And you heard her tell Frank, as once again we look at Bobby Riggs wiping his racket and obviously distressed by this turn of circumstances. There's the University of Houston band, as they would be playing at a University of Houston game. Houston, of course, coached by Bill Yeoman.
I personally think it's fabulous. I think it completely adds to something really new that never existed in tennis. And
You're talking about this whole atmosphere.
This whole atmosphere, yes, it's fantastic, Howard. I've never seen anything like it. It's just like a football match, and I never go to them.
It carries the image beyond tennis, there's no question. Before, tennis has sort of been played in the small arenas, the country clubs, and it's had not just the snob appeal, but really almost a code-like appeal to just a few. It's catered just to those people who are interested in tennis, and this match certainly is carried beyond that limited scope.
Remember, in the ground rules set yesterday at a long meeting, it was agreed that the players would take 4 minutes between sets. Hey, somebody just gave me this certificate, Rosemary and Gene. It says, if I lose to Billie Jean King, I will jump off a bridge, Bobby Riggs. This certificate admits one person to the Bobby Riggs bridge jump. Place, time, and date to be determined. What do you think of that?
I think it's great. It's going to happen, I hope.
The concluder on the bottom, odds that Riggs will con the bridge into lowering itself before the jump are 8-5.
All right, we're ready for the action. Bobby is serving to Billie Jean, and it's 15-love. Billie Jean's return out. First game of the third set.
I think Bobby is going to change his strategy. He's going to start trying to play Billie Jean's forehand, but I think Billie Jean's confident enough now that she's going to start hitting out and start playing more like she would like to.
And as the viewers saw, it is 15-all.
Bobby again, unspectacular, gets a little ahead on this game just by drawing the area. By drawing the error. The area.
Out, and it's 30-all.
An uncharacteristic error by Bobby himself then.
Good first serve, backhand, real deep, came off the tape on the court. Sometimes when it hits the tape or the white paint on the court, it does slide right into the first.
But again, that backhand passing shot of Billie Jean's. And note, she made the point to Frank Gifford in Frank's recent interview with her just moments ago that Bobby was leading into her best shot, which is that passing backhand.
Looks like we're going to have an early break.
We have an early breakthrough. We may see the breakdown of Mr. Riggs, trailing as he does 2-0.
I wonder what's going to happen to Bobby Riggs when he loses. He can't keep going. All the women are going to say, well, you're not good enough and we're not going to play you. There's the break.
This is King breaks through on the very first game of the third set. So she leads 1 game to none. She leads 2 sets to none. We'll be back in a moment.
Well, there's a bevy of beauties in Houston. One of them, Joanne Flug. And Joanne, you've been sitting with Billie Jean right on the bench, so to speak. I guess that's the proper term. You're delighted, aren't you?
I am so excited. I had my T-shirt printed. May I show it?
Well, I found it a little bad, but we'll go ahead.
Well, I love it. And everyone laughed at me.
Turn around a little more. There you are. I am a Billie Jean fan.
I am so excited. I feel as if I'm playing. It's incredible. She is so exciting, and the shots she's making are incredible.
Either side, you're okay, Joanne. Let's go back to the action, Howard.
You slipped one in a hurry there, Gipper. Fault on Billie Jean's first serve. She can sense the kill. She leads 1 game to none in the 3rd set, having won the first 2 sets. And a beautiful passing shot by Bobby Riggs. Up 15.
We talk about the backhand, Howard, problem that Bobby's having directing all his traffic to Billie Jean's backhand. I think any player, Rosie, wouldn't you agree, really dreads the day that they have to focus on a player's forehand. In other words, Bobby may be a little worried about playing anybody's forehand because they can flick winners from the forehand at any time. When the backhand is stronger, this is the only slot it leaves them in, where they have to play the forehand, and Billie Jean over here, she can knock a winner at any time.
That's right. It is.
30-15.
Logs don't seem to be paying off for Bobby Riggs. He's going to either have to change his tactics or lose this match. I think Billie Jean's gotten her momentum, and she's on top. She's got 2 sets to love, and psychologically, that's where you want to be. Bobby ran around that serve. Billie Jean's going to have to start getting her first serve in, because once Bobby starts running around his backhand and hitting that sliding forehand that seems to fade toward the backhand side, it's a tough shot to bring back into the court. Half volley by Billie Jean.
And a great shot by Bobby Riggs. 30-40, and now Billie Jean is fighting to hold service. We're, of course, in the Houston Astrodome as we turn another hour. We are in the 3rd set, first game.
Good serve from his forehand side.
We are back to deuce. And it's been a night, I think, that was not expected by most. A night in which Billie Jean King has thus far dominated. Just as you saw there with that brilliant backhand placement. So now it is advantage Billie Jean King in the first game of the 3rd set. My colleagues working with me this evening are Gene Scott, and she puts it away. Game point. Billie Jean leads 1 game to love in the 3rd set. 2 games to love, correction. So she's got him right where she wants him now.
4 more games to go, and this night is over.
Problem with Bobby's game again is that he doesn't have any one big stroke that can bring him around here. He can't dominate with a serve or volley. He has to really rely on Billie Jean's mistakes.
15 love Bobby. Well, down on the first game service break, and now in this kind of trouble. Funny, going into this telecast, one couldn't be sure really how to treat it. Would it be high good humor? Well, couldn't be all that. 30 love now, Bobby. Because too many women in the country were taking this match seriously in the wake of all of Bobby's talk and in the wake of the way he victimized Margaret Court. But it would seem that there would be an admixture. Some antics on the court by Bobby. That's a service ace, 40 love. None of this has thus far eventuated. As Billie Jean
Bobby seems to be rushing the match. He's rushing. Billie Jean put up her hand.
Put up her hand there, as the viewers saw, to slow him down. No, it has not been a comic night for Bobby. Not thus far. Ball. Bobby Riggs, he trails 2-1 in the third set. And we'll be back after this word from our local station.
Barbra Streisand stars in Funny Girls, Sunday at 7:30, 6:30 Central.
Bobby, could I ask you briefly, is your arm all right? I know that you're rubbing it.
Yeah, it's all right. Just for a minute there, I thought that maybe lost too much shoulder or something. It'll be all right, Frank.
Bobby Riggs is going to be all right. Let me ask Lorne Cuny. Lorne Cuny has been traveling with Bobby, well, from the very beginning of this. Lorne, as you see it, trouble at this point.
Well, the trouble is that Bobby's just not himself. She's playing well. If he just gets a little bit of a lead, I think he's going to be okay. He's just got to break out in front a little bit. But she's playing darn good right now.
She is playing well.
All right, give me the glass.
Okay, Howard. Bobby says he's fine.
Thank you, Giff. Thank you, Lonnie. And thank you, Bobby Riggs. Incidentally, they had a big hassle over the injury problem in that ground rules meeting yesterday, and it was decided if one of the players got injured, after 10 minutes, a doctor would decide whether or not play could be resumed. Otherwise, there would be a default. Billie Jean serving, leading 2-1 in the third set. Oh, you know that fellow, I suspect. Jimmy the Greek Snyder, the odds maker, Las Vegas, Nevada.
He looks pensive, Howard.
Yes, his reputation, after all. He made Bobby a 5-2 favorite. But Bobby wins that point as he starts his fight to break through Billie Jean and to get back to even in games in this third set. Well, marvelous drop shot.
A little out. Missed by an eyelash.
I know that, but she is really playing.
That's a pretty good indicator of confidence when she tries a low percentage drop shot on a very fast surface like this.
No luck on that, and Bobby is now very close to breakthrough.
Triple break point. If Bobby wins any of the one of the following 3 points, he'll tie the match at 2-all.
15-40. 2 break points now. We're in a run-over situation, as you all know, but let me assure you, you'll see streets of San Francisco in its entirety when this match has been concluded. Well, Billie Jean's having trouble with the first service now. Bobby Riggs fights back and breaks through. We have tied at 2 games apiece, and Bobby's fans continue to grow in number, just as Andy Williams said earlier, because of his newly adopted underdog role.
You can hear the shouts in the midpoint, exactly like the football game.
Jean.
Working her way up to the net, staying in the back court just to get the right shot to go up to net.
You've come a long way, baby. That's what this
There goes the lob. It's in. It's like Bobby's doing some road work.
Love 30. Now Billie Jean trying to strike back with a breakthrough of service. Well, a football, Rosie. You were worried about...
I was waiting for that when his feet would get in the way, and that's one time.
Explain the football,
Football
Rosie.
is whenever your foot touches the baseline prior to hitting the ball, making contact with the ball. That is called a football. Beautiful
passing shot off the forehand. Love 40.
She really has Bobby on the run. Really
3 breakthrough points for Billie Jean now, Rosie.
She needs this game, and I think she has to hold one more time, 2 more times to give her the match.
And she breaks through. In a love game, Billie Jean King reassumes the lead. 3 games to 2. She leads 2 sets to none. And we'll be back in just a moment. You're looking at an apparently tired Bobby Riggs, trailing 2 sets to none, 3 games to 2, having just been broken for the 2nd time in this 3rd set, and fighting for everything he's created for himself in playing women. But look at how Billie Jean King has been running him over the court. And that's been her principal tactic, aim, of course, or at least one of them, to wear him down. He is 55 years old, and she has been running him around and doing it very effective. Now we pick up with the action again. And look at that. She drew him over to the left side of your screen, the left corner of the court, up in the net, and then dropped it over the right side.
Really making Bobby move.
But if he's going to succeed, he has to succeed on that side, on the forehand side.
15 all.
Rarely makes an error.
Yep, but she did that. Look at this story in service breaks.
Bobby's trying to keep the ball low to Billie Jean's feet and trying to make her hit up on the balls so he can have a chance of hitting through her.
It's now 15-30. 6 service breaks for Billie Jean, only 3 for Bobby Riggs. And that in its own way tells the story thus far of the match. But now Bobby is trying to break through again, as he must, if he is to stay alive. Fault.
There goes the forehand slider. Beautiful volley down the line by Billie Jean.
It's unusual to see when Billie Jean hits a second serve. Bobby runs around his backhand, and he can't generate enough power to slap the ball by her, so he must use that slider, which Billie Jean was able to get to then.
There it is. He had it.
That's right.
Can't get his return slow to her, and anytime you hit anything waist high or above her waist, she's going to put away.
40-30. Billie Jean serving.
Good first serve. There's the forehand.
Good passing shot by Bobby, where it deuce. That's been the story of the match, that beautiful passing backhand. And I have to remember back to the top of the show, Rosemary Casals, when you said Billie Jean King would win in 3 sets, and Riggs would win 3 games in 2 of those losing sets and 4 games in the third.
Well, I almost know her like a book.
Because you're already 1 up on Gene Scott, who said you had the right scores, but in flip-flop form.
Well, I think I'll take that back now.
I have to.
Great shot. Great!
Marvelous shot. Billie Jean now leads 4 games to 2. Let's watch that again in slow motion. There's that fine retrieve by Billie Jean, and Bobby could do nothing with it. So he leads 4 games to. He trails 4 games to 2.
I think we're having a little problem with his hand. I think it's cramping up. He's a little bit tight, I'd say. He keeps pulling on his fingers, and to me that says that he's getting a cramp. Starting from the elbow, he's going to walk toward his coach there.
Yes, we've got the injury problem now.
Starting to do the gamesmanship there.
Gamesmanship, you call it. Well, he's having the hand and the arm looked at. He had told Frank Gifford that he was sure the arm would be all right.
Is he allowed to sit down?
Yes, he is. That was a part of the ground rules. You know, the basic rule of tennis calling for continuous play, but that's been waived here by both parties. He's allowed 10 minutes, and then if he's...
Yeah, but isn't that in between games?
No, this is in the event of injury.
Is this an injury then?
This is an injury. We went through a torturous time yesterday at the ground rules meeting. At first, Billie Jean insisted on only 5 minutes delay for an injury, and then a doctor to determine whether or not continuance is possible. But finally, she agreed to allow 10.
I knew this would come to this. I knew Bobby would have to come down to something like injuries.
Let me say this about Bobby Riggs, Rosie. You've gotten in all your licks tonight at the guy, and that's fine. And he made a lot of noise about male chauvinism and women belonged in the kitchen and all the rest. But he is 55, and he's some kind of guy. And
I agree, but I don't think he belongs on the court with somebody of Billie Jean's caliber.
Well, the way it's proving out at the moment, turns out that you were right. If it ends this way, there's Billie Jean getting her left calf rubbed down. Some of the crowd growing a little bit restive. And while we're waiting for the action to resume, if we find that Bobby Riggs can, don't forget, this Saturday afternoon, NCAA football features 4 outstanding regional telecasts. Michigan State at Syracuse, Oregon at Air Force, Oklahoma State at Arkansas, and New Mexico at Texas Tech. Be sure to check your local listings for the game and the kickoff time in your area. Incidentally, later on Saturday afternoon, as Bobby Riggs returns to the wars, you'll see the World Welterweight Championship fight live from Toronto, Canada, and the conclusion of the World Swimming and Diving Championships from Belgrade, Yugoslavia. Plus, an exclusive interview with World Driving Champion Jackie Stewart, who is some kind of guy and some kind of athlete. Okay, Bobby's ready to serve, trailing 2 games to 4 in the third set. He's lost the first 2 sets, and the first service is a fault. Love. Bobby Riggs taking 415 pills a day on a great nutrition drive. Getting the most he can out of that body. Again, that backhand passing shot. We could just play that shot all night. It's 15 all.
I don't think anything's going to help Bobby now. I think he's in real trouble.
He is. He tried, I think, whether he had the hand cramp that we saw earlier or not, that what he obviously was trying to do was break up Billie Jean's brilliant momentum.
Off the forehand that time. 30.
the shot off both sides. Topspin forehand, topspin backhand.
15 playing 30. All. And in the background, you must have heard one of the fans yelling, "Come on, Bobby, baby."
Howard, that's the first bad error that Billie Jean's made in over 4 games. Roll the topspin in the middle of the net.
I think Billie Jean feels that she has to keep hitting. That's her game, especially when she gets a little bit tentative, a little bit tight. You've got to hit out. It's her type of game so she can get back into playing the way she's used to playing.
40-30.
2 very quick, unforced errors by Billie Jean. She was moments only ago at 15-30, on the verge of a second break.
Down the line.
Again, an error. We'll be back in a moment.
With me, Leroy Neiman, world-famous artist, and Leroy is concentrated a little bit on the ladies here tonight. And I guess, well, you should, Leroy. Would you explain?
I gave too much time to Bobby before the match. I spent the evenings with him, so I've been drawing the girls out here. And this is a girl photographer, which I think is a welcome addition to the tennis scene.
Let me get on this other side. We can't see very good. All right. No, you stay with me. Here. Can you stay over here? There you are. Okay, now.
This is Jessica, the girl photographer, a real beauty. And then Billie Jean has been a real artist here today, and I think every artist should have her mother painted.
We just talked to her. She's
every artist paints his and her mother, and this is her beautiful mother.
Okay, and that's...
And here we got the lineswoman. Another beauty. This is an angle that I've had all night, and it's been a little distracting for me.
I've seen it. Very distracting. Leroy, enjoyed it? I know you have. Let's go back now to Howard.
Thanks, Giver. Thanks, Leroy Neiman. And Billie Jean picks up, leading 4 games to 3. Quickly, first serve good. Moving in on the return, and again the backhand passing shot. She leads 15-love. She has won the first 2 sets, of course, in case some of you just joined us, 6-4 and 6-3. She has really surprised the crowd here tonight with the consistency and aggressive nature of her play, the quickness of her anticipation and execution. She is leading 30-love in this game.
Billie Jean always plays well when it's tight. She's a great pressure player.
Once again, identifying my colleagues here in the broadcast booth, Rosie Casals, noted lady tennis player on the Pro Tour, who's having a big year, having made more than $70,000 thus far this year. And Jean Scott, 30-15. That was out.
Looks like
Jean Scott is with me, too. The man who once played an exhibition match against Billie Jean King in Long Island a number of years ago. Spotted her 10 points in a 21-point set and beat her.
Good shot.
That was called good. I tell you, some very close calls.
I think she hit that one off the wood, but everything counts.
How did it look to you, Gene?
Well, that one looked out, but I think Bobby's been probably got the breaks a little earlier on, so maybe in this particular match, the breaks have evened out. Breaks really have not had much to do with the outcome thus far. I think probably one of the critical things has been the surface that Bobby has not been able to maneuver on his game.
Out. The game goes to Mrs. King. She leads 5. Suspiciously close to winning this match in straight sets. And I again remind you that Rosemary Casals called 6-4, 6-3, 6-3. If Billie Jean could break through here, Rosie would have called it right on the head. Jean Scott called the same scores, but in favor of breaks.
I'm looking mighty bad, Howard. So's Bobby.
Out.
I really hope Jack Kramer's watching this and will cement something in his head that women are very, very good tennis players. Certainly a lot better than Bobby Riggs.
Ball. Bobby not getting his first service in with consistency all evening.
Riggs still relying on the serve and volley. It's an unusual sight for him.
Oh.
Right at his feet. Couldn't do anything with it.
Where do we go from here if Riggs loses? Does somebody play Pancho Gonzalez or Pancho Segura?
It's still 1-1. Bobby would have won one against the ladies and lost one against the ladies.
I think after what we've heard tonight, it could be Gene Scott against Rosie Casals. You think you could beat Gene, Rosie?
He's pretty tough. We'll have to see.
Match point. Beautiful shot. Again off that backhand. Which has been perfectly brilliant all night. And she is at match point.
What's Bobby going to do now? Serve to go.
A lot of heat on this ball.
Let's watch closely what happens at the net should Billie Jean win. Back to deuce. Too eager, Gene.
That's as close to being a choke as we've had tonight. Of course, Billie Jean's so far ahead. It's not the traditional type of getting nervous when you're about to lose. Or
the only choking would be on the court is Billie Jean choking Riggs.
Bobby again faulting on the first serve.
All night long, Rosie has not been disposed to be gentle in her mind.
The lob. Missed out.
I heard that sigh of relief from Bobby from here.
Yeah. Advantage Riggs. Don't forget, he trails 3-5 in the third set. Billie Jean having won the first two sets 6-4 and 6-3. It's not been a comedic night. The show business went out of the thing when Billie Jean started to dominate Bobby Riggs. It's been an interesting match with some fine tennis. And there, that's the kind of tennis we've had from Billie Jean all night. Most of the time, that passing shot has come off the backhand, but when she's had to do it off the forehand, she's succeeded. We're back at deuce. Advantage Riggs.
One of the things that Billie Jean has been awfully good at tonight, Howard, is she's shown that she's got very good mobility. That she hit that driving forehand down the line. She got to the ball in a hurry.
He's had terrible trouble with that first serve all night. And we're back to deuce.
He just nonchalanted the forehand, didn't get his legs into position.
I don't think he's nonchalanting anything, Gene. I think he's dog-tired.
Comes down to the same
right,
thing.
Howard.
You're not nonchalanting when you face loss of match. Beautiful passing shot again off the backhand. We're back to match point for Mrs. Billie Jean King, who has given some demonstration tonight.
Predict a backhand down the line. Oops, right into
And as quickly as she comes off a great shot, there is a glaring error.
A lot of pressure. Tense moments. That's going wild.
Bobby has yet to get a first serve in this game.
Advantage Riggs. A long game as Bobby Riggs fights for his whole hustle.
He fights for his honor against Rosie. So that prediction of the score on the button won't pay off.
Pay off close enough. Close enough.
Back to Bruce.
We got another chance, Gene. We got another chance.
I'm afraid so.
Service has been a disaster for him all night, Gene.
And the second serve ball.
There is no good time for a double fault, but there can be a disastrous time, and that may have been it.
Third match point for Billie Jean King.
Looks a little like Margaret Court now.
Fault.
A lot of ladies would like to have this another double.
A perfect gentleman. And so this is what it's come down to here in the Houston Astrodome. The long-awaited match, hustled and promoted ceaselessly and shrewdly by Bobby Riggs. Excitement engendered all over the country as Billie Jean hugs her husband, Larry King. It began to become a cause célèbre. Equality for women. Equal rights. It was Billie Jean who fought for equal pay for women in the U.S. Open tennis tournament and got it. All of the women of America, or at least most of them, seem to be caught up with the anticipation of this match. Billie Jean went into virtual seclusion. There was talk before the match about her health, whether or not she'd even be able to go ahead with the match as scheduled, or the match would have to be postponed. It turned out instead that Billie Jean King was perfectly ready. And not only ready, but willing and able. She played her own game, resting up, being non-communicative, but preparing herself mentally and emotionally and physically for a stunning performance against Bobby Riggs. Once again, the winner of the Battle of the Sexes, Billie Jean King, by scores of 6-4, 6-3, 6-3. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Cadillac, America's #1 luxury car and your authorized Cadillac dealer. Now, this is Howard Cosell, along with Frank Gifford, Rosemary Casals, Gene Scott, and Leroy Neiman, saying so long from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. The executive producer for the Billie Jean King Bobby Riggs match was Jackie Barnett. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Rune Arledge. Produced by Chuck Howard. Tonight's coverage directed by Chet Forty. The technical director John Allen. Associate producer Bob Kelly. Associate director Lou Frederick. Engineering supervisor Len Bottom. Unit manager Gary Nenner. Assistant to the producer Howard Katz. Billie Jean King reigns supreme in straight sets 6-4, 6-3, 6-3 from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Good night all.